Hi, I'm Bart Loeser, and welcome back to Speech Preparation and Delivery, which is a part of Toastmaster District 55's continuing education program. In this part of speech preparation and delivery, we will be focusing on how to best prepare your speech. We focused in our first session on coping with fear and anxiety. This one will be on speech preparation. Join us on the next two recordings for delivery style and virtual delivery skills. In dealing with speech preparation, keep in mind that the first part of that is developing your speech, and you probably heard this before, but the most important thing about speaking in Toastmasters is you want to try to keep your speech short and simple. Some of you may have heard KISS meaning something different, but that's what I like to say, is that when you're looking for speech ideas, find ideas that are simple and short, because the speeches are generally only 5 to 7 minutes, so you can't talk about a lot anyways. Talk about things that you know. These things could be your interests, such as sports, hobbies, travel, entertainment, your values, or goals that you have in life or in Toastmasters. You can also talk about your career, the business processes of doing your job, workplace issues, or experiences at work, your ethics, ethics of other people, investments or retirement issues. Any of these things can be interesting to your audience about your career. People love to hear about family, and it's something we all have in common. You could talk about your ancestors, children, marriage, traditions, all sorts of things about your family. You can find great topics in education, such as study habits, achievements, memorable teachers that you had, subjects, anything like that about your education in your life, because we've all had similar experiences. And of course, for most of us, you can find great topics in everyday life experiences. These can be anything. And this is one of the reasons why it's a great idea to make sure to spend a little bit of time each day writing down incidences that happen or stories that you could share that have happened in your past or things that are going on right now. They can make anything a great speech. Once you come up with some ideas, you want to find ways to support or expand on your speech ideas. So here's a bunch of resources that you can look into, such as websites, media sites, university research, medical sites. Toastmasters has incredible resources that can help you in building up a speech. So go to toastmasters.org and do a search for different areas that you can find to build on your Toastmasters speech subject. You can find great ways to support your speeches through books, going to the library, your writing, your analysis, or other people's as well. You can also find great ideas from magazines, where you'll find economic trends you could talk about, human interest stories, discoveries in science, entertainment, all sorts of different areas. And of course, newspapers, whether it's the print media or online. Talk about current events or opinions, editorials or travel, advertisements. So once you've come up with a topic, you want to prepare your speech. In preparing your speech, one of the key elements of that is always keep in mind, give a speech for a purpose, and you want to get credit for that. So use your Pathways manuals, these electronic manuals, to choose what your next project is. And you want to read completely through the project to totally understand what are you going for here. But choose a relatable topic that would be a good fit for the particular project that you're working on. Then, of course, you want to write your speech out. And this is more for a visual and helping you to edit down and understand how it flows. It's not so that you take your speech up there as something you're going to memorize word for word. Keep in mind, that's not really the goal, is to memorize your speech as much as know how it flows from one idea to the next so that you can get up there and present your ideas to people in a way that's clear, interesting, that flows, makes a point, and that essentially meets the needs of the project that you're going for. One of the most powerful tools you can use is a mentor. So find and use a mentor for idea development. So this is before your speech is even written. You can actually practice with your mentor and get some great feedback from them. You can also get some great support. They can give you ideas as to what's working and what's not. before you ever have to deliver that speech. Another important aspect of preparing your speech is to practice. And this is going to be the key that of all of them. This is the most important. Practice, practice, practice. You might video call somebody and practice with them live on the video call. You can record your speech and play it back. You can actually do audio only and just listen to the sound of the words and how you're saying those words to see if it flows well, or do an audio visual recording, which is even better, because then you can see how you look saying those words, which is the most powerful impact that your communication has, even more than how you say the words or the words themselves. It's how you look saying them. And as you practice your speech, you're going to notice things that you might think, this isn't quite the best fit, and you're going to make some changes and edit your speech, especially if you're giving your speech and you realize this 5 to 7 minute speech is taking you 8 minutes or 9 minutes. Generally, a 5 to 7 minute speech is about 700 to 800 words for people who are of the average communication style, when the average pacing of their speech. If you talk very fast, you might be able to get more words in, or if you talk very slowly, you're not going to be able to use 800 words and stay within the 5 to 7 minutes. Lastly, you're going to deliver your speech. Now, for those of us who are fairly new Toastmasters, it is perfectly okay to go up with your speech, but not written out. You want to know it well enough where you could just follow in some note cards from one idea to the next, but not word for word. So use note cards if needed, but really you want to try to practice this enough where you're not even going to need note cards. You just want to know how it flows from this idea, and then I'm going to talk about this idea, and then it moves into. And so that's what you want to do, is to prepare a speech that's easy to remember. Because getting up there in Toastmasters isn't about your speech as much as it is about how you practice delivering that speech, and how you practice not only in your body language, but your vocal variety, but also does it create the impact for your audience that you want it to have. So these are far more important than actually the writing of the speech, although, as you know, that is a very important piece as well. To review this section, we've discussed how it's important to come up with great potential speech ideas and all the resources you can turn to for that, but keep it short and simple. The KISS method. Choose topics from the world around you and topics that you know well, that are easy for you to talk about. You want to identify resources for research so that you might have to find more information about that topic to be able to present it. And you'll always want to follow your Pathways project. So read up and read through this project thoroughly before you consider writing your speech. And lastly, prepare and practice. At least 3 to 5 times go through your speech so that you get a chance to see how it flows. So thank you for this section of preparation and delivery. This was on preparing your speech. Join us next for delivery style. That is our part 3 of 4 of our continuing education program, Speech Preparation and Delivery. I'm Bart Loeser. Thank you.